Class, our discussion for today is about preferential taxation. Okay, preferential taxation. So we will cover the following topics. Actually, meron tayong 6 topics for today. Number 1, SCs or senior citizens. Number 2, PWDs or persons with disabilities. Number 3, BMBs or the barangay micro business enterprises. Number 4, DTA or the double taxation agreements. Number 5, we have PEZA. Number 6, BOI or Board of Investment. So class, medyo marami tayong topics na i-discuss for today, but I believe very important na i-discuss natin to because yung 6 topics na yan, most likely hindi yan na-discuss ng undergrad nyo. Okay? Or kung na-discuss mo yan, mabilisan lang. Alright? So dadahan-dahan natin yung discussion. Basically, isa-isahin natin yan. Okay. So sir, bakit pa tinawag na preferential taxation? So from that word itself, preferential, preference, ibig sabihin class, yung in-enumerate natin na yan, yung 6 na yan, they pay lower tax rates or they pay more favorable tax rates compared to regular individuals or corporations. Okay? Kaya tinawag natin na preferential. So ulitin ko, preferential taxation means lower tax rates or more favorable tax rates. Okay? Now, let's start with senior citizens. Lagay natin dito class SCs or senior citizens and let's refer to our G-sheets. So, open your G-sheets. Okay, so una nyo makikita dyan class, senior citizens, and yung reference natin dyan is the Expanded Senior Citizens Act of 2010 or just RA 9994. So, naglagay din ako ng link dyan. So, feel free to read yung provisions of the Act para at least familiar ka dun sa content ng Expanded Senior Citizens Act. Okay, now, ang gagawin natin dito class, isa-isahin natin yung benefits of as a senior citizen. Okay, basically, doon magre-revolve yung discussion natin. And also class, in the Philippines, we have 7.5 million senior citizens. And unfortunately, marami pa rin doon yung hindi informed kung ano yung benefits na entitled sila. So, if meron kang relatives or parents or grandparents na senior citizens, feel free to share to them kung ano yung matutunan mo for today. Alright? Sige, class. So, sir, paano ba mag-qualify as a senior citizen? So, lagay natin dito, qualifications. The individual must be a Filipino citizen. Okay? Filipino citizen na resident of the Philippines and at least 60 years old. Ayun, 60 years old. Ayan, okay? So, Filipino citizen, resident of the Philippines, at least 60 years old. Now, class, if naman meron kang dual citizenship, okay? Dual citizen, for example, American and Filipino citizen, okay? Dual citizenship yun. So, ang gagawin mo dyan, aside from this, yung dalawa na yan, may additional requirements pa. So, magpo-provide ka ng proof of Filipino citizenship and dapat mag-stay ka at least 6 months in the Philippines. So, 6 months residency in the Philippines. Okay? So, ayan. Yun yung mga qualifications before you can be considered as a senior citizen entitled to, ayan, yung mga benefits na enumerate natin. Okay, so isa-isahin natin class, yung benefits. Start muna tayo with letter A. Okay, let's read the G-sheets. Letter A, 20% discount and exemption from VAT on certain goods and services for their own use. So, sulat natin class, yung mga important words doon. So, 20% discount and VAT exemption. Okay, so 20% discount and VAT exemption. Pero take note class, selected goods and services lang yan. Hindi sa lahat. Okay, selected lang. Isa-isay natin. So number 1, medicines, essential medical supplies, accessories and equipment, dental services, diagnostic, laboratory fees in private hospitals, clinics, etc. So basically, number 1 class, medical-related goods or services. Okay, may discount and VAT exempt yung senior citizens. Number 2, professional fees of their physicians and healthcare workers. Basically, sa doctors and healthcare workers. Ayan. Number 3, fare, okay, yung transportation for land. So jeepney, buses, taxis, shuttle services, MRT, LRT, PNR, etc. Number 4, meron ding discount and VAT exempt yung senior citizens sa restaurants, hotels, lodging establishments, recreation centers. Number 5, theaters, cinema houses, concert halls, circuses, leisure and amusement. And number 6, funeral and burial services. Okay, so take note, ito yung 6 items na the senior citizen meron siyang 20% discount and exempt from VAT. Take note, class, nakalagay dyan, dapat for the senior citizens' own use. So lagay ko dito, for their own use. Very important yun kasi for their own use. Let's say, bumili si senior citizen sa pharmacy. Okay? Tapos yung gagamit naman pala nung binili niya, yung anak niya. O hindi pwede yun. Dapat for the senior citizen's own use. Before siya makapag 20% discount and VAT exemption. Gets? Okay. Now, turo ko kayo kung paano mag-compute class kung how much yung kailangan bayaran ni senior citizen. So for example, si Mr. X, senior citizen siya. Okay? 60 years old. Now, bibili siya ng medicine. Okay? Medicine na bibili niya sa pharmacy is worth 112 pesos. Okay? So 112. Now, ang tanong dito is how much yung kailangan bayaran ni Mr. X dun sa pharmacy for this medicine. So ganito mangyari dyan, class. Yung selling price, obviously, alam natin na inclusive of VAT yan. Okay? Yung selling price inclusive of VAT, which is 112, tatanggalin natin yung VAT. Kasi nga, VAT exempt si senior citizen. So, ang gagawin natin, divide mo natin by 1.12. Okay? Makukuha natin yung selling price exclusive of VAT, which is 100. Gets? Yung 100 plus or the selling price exclusive of VAT, dyan mo i-multiply yung 20% discount. Okay? So multiply natin 20%. Therefore, si senior citizen, magiging entitled siya sa 20 pesos na discount. Alright? So tingnan natin kung how much yung babayaran ng senior citizen. So yung original selling price is 112. Tanggalin natin yung VAT kasi VAT exempt si senior citizen. So how much yung VAT? 100 times 12%, that's 12. Okay? So minus 12. And then, i-minus natin yung discount na 20%. You have, ayan, 20. 112 minus 12, that's 100 minus 20. So ang babayaran ng senior citizen is 80 pesos. Okay? Amount payable to the senior citizen is 80 pesos. Alright? So ganyan mag-compute for the discount and VAT exemption. Okay, let's go to letter B. That's letter A. Let's go to letter B. A minimum of 5% discount on water and utility bills up to 100 kilowatt hours of electricity and 30 cubic meters of water registered under their name. Sulat ko muna. So sa letter B class, ito yung important dyan. Nakalagay, 5% discount on water and electricity. Okay? Water and electricity. Pero take note, may limit. Electricity. Sabi dyan, up to 100 kilowatt hours for electricity consumption and then up to 30 cubic meters for water naman consumption. Okay? Sir, bakit ganyan? 100 kilowatt hours and 30 cubic meters. Tandaan mo class, ito yung reasonable consumption ng isang senior citizen. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, pag naka-receive ka ng Meralco bill, right? Hindi yung buong amount doon, may discount na 5%. Hindi. So, up to 100 kilowatt hours lang and 30 cubic meters na water consumption. Gets? Okay. And then the important part pa ng provision na yun, yung letter B, nakalagay sa last part, registered under their name. So dapat class, let's say yung electricity bill, dapat yung pangalan doon, okay, ang kapangalan doon yung senior citizen. Bago ka makapag-claim ng 5%. Take note 5%. Kanina 20, pag water and electricity, 5% lang yun. Alright? Must be registered under their name. Now, what if naman sir, mayroong multiple senior citizens nakatira doon sa bahay na yun? Okay, so ilang percent sir magiging discount doon? Again, isang beses lang. Isang 5% lang. Kaya important yung nakalagay na registered under their name. Kung kayo naka-register, siya lang yung may discount. Kahit marami pang senior citizens yung nakatira dun sa bahay na yan. Gets? Okay. That's letter B. Let's go to letter C. If the senior citizen is a minimum wage earner, MWE, he or she is exempted from individual income taxes. Well, natutunan na natin yung class sa discussion natin ng income tax. Pag minimum wage earner ka, exempt ka from income tax. Pero take note class, ang nakalagay dyan, income tax lang. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kailangan pa rin magbayad ng mga business taxes, mga transfer taxes, etc. Sa income tax lang exempt ang isang minimum wage earner, kahit senior citizen ka pa. Right? Sige, let's go to letter D. Mandatory PhilHealth coverage. So, ang ibig sabihin ng class, once maging senior citizen ka, ma-reach mo yung 60 years old na yan, automatic member ka ng PhilHealth. Okay, so kung ano man yung benefits as PhilHealth member, entitled na doon yung senior citizen. Gets? Okay. In the same way, sa letter E, GSIS, SSS, pag-ibig benefits and privileges. So entitled na rin dyan si senior citizen. So GSIS, basically, yung para sa mga government employees, SSS, mga private employees. Okay. Letter F, express lanes or priority status in almost all establishments in both commerce government and commercial establishments. So yan, nakikita niyo yung class. Pag pumunta ka ng bangko, di ba, merong senior citizens lane doon. Pag pumunta ka ng mga restaurants, pumunta ka ng Jollibee, di ba may senior citizens lane doon? So nakikita natin yan. So meron silang priority lane. Yun isa sa mga benefits ng senior citizens. Okay, next is letter G, employment assistance from the government. Okay, letter H, educational assistance. So employment assistance, educational assistance. Letter I, training fees exemption. Okay. Letter J, social safety nets such as food, medicine, okay, during economic shocks and calamities. So familiarize yourselves with these benefits. Marami-rami yan. And letter K, centenarian privilege under RA 10868 or the Centenarians Act of 2016. So, ibig sabihin, pag umabot ka ng 100 years old, okay, entitled ka sa 100,000 cash gift, kaya 100,000 yan. 100,000, 100 years old. And a letter from the President. Okay, yun yung nasa Centenarians Act of 2016. Okay, let's go to letter L, city or municipality specific benefits. So, sulat ko yung class, ha? City, letter L, city or municipality specific benefits. So, ano ibig sabihin yan? Ibig sabihin yung class kasi, yung mga LGUs na yan, mga cities and municipalities, iba-iba kasi yung guidelines nila, policies nila, or privileges nila when it comes to senior citizens. For example, sa Makati, pag nag-birthday yung senior citizen, may free birthday cake yan. Okay, ano pa? Exempted sila sa coding. Yung masasakyan, walang coding yung senior citizens. Alright? What else? Yung mga senior citizens, pwede silang manood sa cinema, sa movie house. Okay? I think yung ibang movie house, unlimited yan. No? Anytime pwede pumunta yung senior citizens. For example, sa Glorieta, sa Greenbelt, okay? Sa Power Plant Mall, sa Century Mall. Ayan. Yung iba naman, scheduled. For example, okay, every Monday, lahat ng senior citizens, may free movie kayo. Okay, ganun yan. What else? Yung iba naman, pag may golden wedding anniversary, yung mga senior citizens, ayun, meron din silang cash gifts or may iba cake din sila. Alright? Anyway, so yun sa Makati. Okay? Iba-iba yan. Pag pumunta ka naman ng Quezon City, baka iba naman yung guidelines doon. Pumunta ka naman Daluyong, iba-iba naman. Kaya sabi diyang class, city or municipality specific specific, ano nakalagay doon? City or municipality specific benefits. Okay, so benefits to, hindi budgets. Benefits. Okay. Let's go to letter N. Indigent senior citizens will be entitled to the following. Okay, so aside from yung mga in-enumerate natin, pag indigent senior citizen, meron siyang free vaccine and then meron siyang 500 peso free grocery allowance. Okay, sir, paano pa magiging indigent senior citizen? So ganito yung class. You are considered as an indigent senior citizen if you are a disabled or sickly elders. Okay, disabled or sickly elders. Number 2, no pension. Okay, walang SSS or GSIS pension. Number 3, no income. And then number 4, no financial support or basic sustenance from family members. Ulitin natin. Indigent senior citizen na meron kang free vaccine and 500 peso free grocery if disabled or sickly elders, no pension, no income, and no financial support. Okay? Next naman class is nakalagay dyan, groceries worth up to 1/3 per week, 5% of the retail prices. Okay, so merong 5% na discount on the retail prices. So lagay natin dyan, dito na lang, letter O. Okay, 5% discount. Pero take note class, hindi yan applicable sa lahat ng bibili ni senior citizens. Okay, may nakalagay dyan na basic necessities and prime commodities. Doon lang applicable yung 5% discount. Take note ha. Okay, so 5% discount, lagay ko dito basic necessities and prime commodities. So ano yung difference yan? So define natin. Okay, yung definition ng basic necessities under dun sa act is these are vital to the needs for their sustenance and existence. Sustenance and existence. Okay? So basically, class, ang ibig sabihin ng basic necessities, ulit, vital to the needs for their sustenance and existence. Kailangan ng senior citizens yan para mabuhay. Okay, yun ang ibig sabihin yan. Ngayon, pag sabing prime commodities naman, class, essential to the senior citizens. Okay? So nagbigay ako ng examples dito para mas malinaw. Pag ito yung binili ng senior citizens, grocery siya, meron siyang 5% discount. So basic necessities, rice, corn, bread, fish, fresh pork, beef, poultry meat, eggs, milk, fruits, vegetables, noodles, coffee, creamer, etc. Okay? Pag prime commodities naman, flour, canned pork, beef, poultry meat. Yung kanina napansin mo, yung sa basic necessities, fresh pork, beef, poultry meat. Doon naman sa prime, canned pork, beef, and poultry meat. Okay? Onions, garlic, vinegar, patis, soy sauce, soap, fertilizer, pesticides, and so on and so forth. So basically, class, yun yung examples of basic necessities and prime commodities. Again, merong 5% discount yan. Okay? Now, letter P is death benefit assistance. So a minimum of 2,000 pesos given to the nearest surviving relative. Okay, so ayan. As you notice, A to P. Okay, yung benefits, ang daming benefits. Alright, so again, inform yung mga kilala mo senior citizens na ito yung entitled sila na benefits. Okay? Now, pag-usapan naman natin, class, yung sa point of view of the establishments. Okay? Point of view of the establishments. For example, kasi Jollibee. Ayan, point of view ni Jollibee. Alright? Number 1, lahat ng ipoprovide ni Jollibee na senior citizen discount, yung mga bumili sa kanya ng senior citizens, paano gagawin ni Jollibee? Di ba 20% yan? Saan yan? Ito. Tama? Paano yan ipe-present ni Jollibee? Okay? Ipe-present niya yan as deductible expense. Alright? So, deductible expense. So, syempre, deductible expense yan. Ibig sabihin, bababa yung taxable income, bababa yung income tax. Alright? So, that's number 1. Number 2, yung input VAT naman, take note class na, again, VAT exempt si senior citizen. So, paano sir yung input VAT for the senior citizen? Okay? Kasi wala kang output VAT, saan mo ibabangga yung input VAT? Yung input VAT class, pwedeng i-charge yan to charge to cost or expense. Cost of sales or expense. Obviously, pag charge mo sa cost of sales or expense, bababa naman yung net taxable income mo. Bababa yung income tax mo. Okay? Again, nag-uusapan natin, point of view ng establishments. In this case, ni Jollibee. Okay? Let's say naman class, si Jollibee, nag-employ siya ng isang senior citizen. Okay? Let's say cashier. Okay? Ayan. So, paano yun, sir? Merong additional compensation expense. Which is basically 15% of the total amount paid as salaries and wages. Okay? So, for example, si Jollibee nag-employ siya ng senior citizen. Yung ibabayad niya salaries and wages, we know, deductible expense yun. Pero may additional 15% pa. Multiply mo pa ng 15%, additional compensation expense. So basically, class, ito is deductible expense for Jollibee. Alright? Pero may requirement pala, class, no? So dapat at least 6 months employed si senior citizen. Okay. So as you notice, win-win situation. Sa point of view ng senior citizens, ang dami niyang benefits. Sa point of view ng establishments, nagbebenta sa senior citizens or nag-employ sa senior citizens, marami ding benefits. Basically, lahat yan deductible expense. Pampababa ng income tax. Alright? Now sir, paano makapag-avail ng mga benefits na yan and mga privileges na yan? So lagyan natin dito, how to avail. So si senior citizen, ganito gagawin niya. Kailangan niya mag-apply sa Office of the Senior Citizens Affairs, okay, or OSCA. Nasa City Hall lang yan. Okay? Punta lang sa City Hall, sa munisipyo, hanapin yung Office of the Senior Citizens Affairs, mag-a-apply dyan yung senior citizen, po-provide ng requirements and proof na 60 years old, at least 60 years old na siya. Ayan, ang tawag natin doon is OSCA, or the Office of the Senior Citizens Affairs. Now class, and then yung OSCA, once ma-meet na yung senior citizen yung mga requirements, mag-i-issue ng Senior Citizens ID, okay? Para sa senior citizens. Alright, so FYI pala class, yung OSCA na yan, headed by a senior citizen din yan. Okay? By a senior citizen. Ang nag-appoint dyan yung mayor. Okay? Yung term niya is 3 years. So, lagyan natin dito. Appointed by mayor, meron siyang term for 3 years. Alright, now, FYI class, so may mga establishments na kahit valid ID, tinatanggap nila. For example, ang pakita ng senior citizen, passport, o kaya driver's license, tinatanggap ng ibang establishments yun. Magbibigay siya ng discount, 20% and VAT exemption, and yung ibang privileges. Pero much better kung may senior citizens ID. Because merong establishments naman na very strict. Stricto sila. Dapat meron kang senior citizens ID before ka maging entitled dun sa mga benefits and privileges. Alright? Okay. So basically class, yan yung mga kailangan natin tandaan for senior citizens. And gawin natin, before we move on to PWDs, magsagot muna tayo ng exercise natin. Sige, so get your handouts. Let's go to number 1 for senior citizens. Actually, computation yung number 1 na yan. So pwede ko na siguro i-erase dito na tayo mag-compute. Okay. Easy computation naman class kapag dito sa preferential taxation, madali lang yung mga computations dito. Let's go to number 1. Mr. X, 62 years of age, purchased a medicine from a pharmacy with a selling price of 3,360 gross of VAT. How much is the net amount to be paid by Mr. X? So parang ginawa natin example kanina. So ganito lang gagawin ko dyan, class. So for number 1, yung selling price dito, inclusive of VAT, is 3,360. Tama? Gross of VAT. Tanggalin mo natin yung VAT. Divide natin sa 1.12. 3,360 divided by 1.12, you get 3,000. So dito yung selling price exclusive of VAT. Multiply natin by 20%. So yung discount ni senior citizen is times 0.2, 600 pesos. Tama? Discount na yan. Now, ang babayaran ng senior citizen, tignan natin. So meron siyang original selling price of 3,360. I-minus natin yung VAT. How much yung VAT? 3,000. Difference sila, basically. Tama? So 360. And then, i-minus natin yung discount, which is, na-compute natin is 600. 3,360 minus 360 minus 600, you get 2,400. Answer natin, class, is dog 2,400. Okay, ganoon na siya. Now, tingnan natin class yung journal entry sa books naman ng pharmacy. Ganito yung journal entry niyan. So, makaka-receive siya ng cash. Debit cash, 2,400. Okay. Debit senior citizens discount, which is 600. And then credit sales, 3,000. Take note, walang VAT sa recording. Kasi VAT exempt. And yung senior citizens discount na yan, sabi natin dito, magiging part yan ng deductible expense of the pharmacy. Alright? So, ayan. Let's go to number 2. Number 2, Miss A, 62 years old, was treated by her grandchildren, X, Y, and Z. Okay, may tatlong apo, si Miss A, to ABC restaurant during Grandparents' Day, and their total bill is 3,920. Question 1, how much is the discount of the senior citizen? Question 2, how much is the amount due and payable? So, anong nangyari dito, class? Basically, meron tayong 4 na persons dito. Isang senior citizen, and then 3 grandchildren. So, paano yun, sir? Ganito yung class. How much yung magiging discount, and how much yung total na babayaran dito, sa scenario na to? Ganito yung class. So, ito si A, si Miss A, and then nandyan si X, Y, and Z, yung grandchildren niya. Yung total bill nila is 3,920. Tama? 3,920. So, gagawin ko dyan, 3,920, i-divide ko by 4. So, ibig sabihin, 980 each. 980, 980, 980, and 980. So, alam natin, si senior citizen A, siya lang yung entitled dun sa discount and exemption from VAT. So, gawin natin class, divide natin yan by 1.12. Okay, makuha natin. 980 divided by 1.12. That's 875. Now, yung 875, yan yung magiging basis ng exemption from VAT and the discount. Okay, compute natin. 875 times 12%. 875 times 0.12, you get 105. And then yung discount, 875 times 0.2, 175. Okay. Ano ba yung tanong, class? How much daw yung discount? So, ito yung tanong. Discount is 175, which is letter A. And then, how much daw yung total amount due? So, how much yung babayaran dito? Well, yung original selling price or yung amount, yung bill is 3,920. Tama? 3,920. Now, tanggalin natin yung VAT kasi yung senior citizen lang, ha? Tanggalin natin yung 105 na yan. Tanggalin din natin yung discount na 20%, 175. So, ang sagot natin dyan, class, 3,920 minus 105 minus 175. Answer, 3,640, letter D or dog. 3,640. Take note, yung grandchildren niya, syempre, hindi yan entitled sa 20% discount or VAT exemption. Senior citizen lang. Yan. Dog for question number 2. Ano na, class? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Let's go to number 3. Ito na ako masasolve. Number 3, Mr. X, 65 years old, celebrated his birthday with a lunch with 2 grandchildren, Y and Z. Okay, Mr. X ordered chicken with spaghetti and drinks worth 224 gross of VAT. So pag sabing gross of VAT, inclusive of VAT. Okay. Y ordered spaghetti, drinks, and burger with an invoice price of 140. So sulat na natin. So number 3, si X yung senior citizen. Nag-order siya, how much? 224. Si Y naman, isa sa mga grandchildren niya, nag-order ng 140 pesos. And si Z ordered chicken with rice and drinks, 120. So add nga natin class, 224 plus 140 plus 120, you have 484. Ito yung total bill nila. Ano ba yung tanong dito class? How much should be paid by Mr. X? Well, ito si Mr. X, yung senior citizen. I-divide natin by 1.12. Okay, 224 divide by 1.12, so that is 200. Tama? Ngayon, yung 200 na yan, yan yung basis ng VAT mo, ng VAT exemption and discount. So 200 times 12%, that's 24. 200 times 20%, that's 40. Okay? Ngayon, yung babayaran ni senior citizen, kung ito yung total, i-minus natin yung VAT na 24. I-minus din natin yung discount na 40. So it means 484 minus 24 minus 40, you get, ulit. So 484 minus 24 minus 40, you have 420, letter C. Ayun, letter C. Okay, let's go to number 4. Mr. X, 60 years old, took an air-conditioned bus operated by a company subject to OPT, okay, with a normal fare of 1,000 from Bicol to Manila. How much should be paid by Mr. X to the bus contractor? Take note, ang nakalagay dyan, exempt from VAT. Hindi sinabi na exempt from OPT. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ang mangyayari dyan sa number 4, yung total fare na 1,000, hindi mo gagawin to. Walang ganyan, walang 1.12. Kasi wala namang VAT yan in the first place. So ang mangyayari dyan class, ang magiging discount lang dito ni senior citizen is the 20%. Alright? So times 20%, 200 yung discount ni senior citizen. So ibig sabihin, ang babayaran niya, 1,000 minus the discount of 200, 800 pesos. Letter C, 800 pesos. Again, the senior citizen, hindi siya exempt from OPT. Exempt siya from VAT. Okay? Number 2. So this is question 1. Question number 2. Suppose Mr. X took an airplane going to Manila and the fare inclusive of VAT and gross of discount 5040. How much fare should be paid by Mr. X? So kada ba, shortcut ko na. Okay, ito yung total. Tama? 5,040,000. Since VAT exempt senior citizen, tanggalin ko yung 12% discount. And then, how much daw yung babayaran? Ibig sabihin, 80% yung babayaran niya kasi may 20% discount. Tama? So, 5,040, divide ko sa 1.12, multiply ko by 0.8, yung babayaran ng senior citizen is 3,600, letter D or dog. Okay, so ganun lang. Alright. Let's go to number 5. ABC Corporation provides discount to senior citizens. So, point of view naman tayo ng establishments. Okay? Kanina, yung disenggutan natin, point of view ng senior citizen. It reported the following during taxable year 2021. Receipts, 10.4 million for regular customers. And then from senior citizens naman, 1.3 million. Okay. And then, meron siyang cost of services, 6 million. Deductible expenses, 2.4. Take note kasi sabi dyan, compute for the taxable income. Right? So, ganito gagawin ko dyan. Mag-start muna tayo with gross receipts. Gross receipts from regular customers, ito yung revenues natin, 10.4 million. Walang problema. Ngayong class, take note na yung sa senior citizens, okay, na 1.3 million, yan daw yung na-receive. Okay, yan yung na-receive. So, ibig sabihin, nakanet na dyan yung 20% discount. Does that make sense? So, ang gagawin ko, 1.3 million, i-divide ko by 0.8. I-gross up ko muna siya. Divide by 0.8. 1,625,000. Okay, so ang ginawa ko dito, class, 1.3 million, divide ko sa 80%. Okay? Hindi ko na pinansin yung VAT. Alright? Kasi net of VAT na yung 1.3 million. So, hindi ko na kailangan i-gross up sa VAT. Okay? Kasi hindi naman subject to VAT yung senior citizen. So, 10.4 million plus 1,625, you get 12,025,000. Ito yung total gross receipts. And then, cost of services, how much? 6 million. Other deductible expenses, so lagay ko dito expenses, which is 2.4 million. And then, sabi ko dito class, yung senior citizens discount, parts of your deductible expense. So, assume natin na wala pa kasi nakalagay naman other deductible expenses. So, wala pa dyan yung senior citizens discount. How much yun? Well, 1.3 million, divide by 80%, 1,625. Actually, 1,625 times 20%, yun yung discount. 1,625,000 times 20%, 325,000. Therefore, yung net taxable income of the establishment or ABC Corporation, let's compute. 12,025,000. Okay, minus 6 million, minus 2.4 million, minus 325,000. Answer natin class is 3.3 million, letter boy. 3.3 million. Take note, pag may nakalagay dyan na compensation expense or salaries expense of the senior citizen, ma-minus natin yun. Tapos may additional 15% pa. Wala naman sinabi, so wala tayong ginawa ganyan. Just in case, may nakalagay, additional 15% deductible expense pa for the actual salaries paid. Okay? Total amount paid as salaries and wages. Okay, boy for number 5. Let's go to the other questions. Number 6. Which of the following statements is true? Letter A. A senior citizen who buys fishball from a street vendor shall be entitled to a 20% discount. Actually, false yan. Yung A. Bakit, sir? Kasi wala naman yun sa enumeration natin kanina, yung benefits. Wala naman doong fishbowl vendor, whatever. So, hindi siya entitled sa 20% discount. Boy, the monthly electric bill in a household where the senior citizen lives shall be subject to 5% discount based on the billed amount. False. Hindi yun kung magkano na sa electric bill mo. Hindi. Meron kang maximum. Ayun, no? 100 kilowatt hours and 30 cubic meters. So, false yung B. C, a Korean national who comes to the Philippines for a tourist visit in Boracay shall be entitled to a 20% discount on plane fare and hotel accommodations. False. Una, hindi siya Filipino citizen. Korean nakalagay dyan. Pangalawa, pag dual citizenship, dapat mag-stay siya for 6 months. False yung C. Dog, a multi-millionaire senior citizen shall be also entitled to the 20% discount. Yes. So, regardless of the social status ng senior citizen, kahit multi-millionaire pa siya dito, basta senior citizen siya, entitled siya sa 20% discount. Okay? Dog for number 6. Number 7, statement 1. For private hospital confinement, the 20% discount and VAT exemption are deducted first from the medical bill before deducting the PhilHealth benefit. That's correct. Okay? True yan. Minus discount, minus yung VAT, minus mo i-deduct yung PhilHealth benefits mo. Okay? Statement 2, no balance billing policy applies to public hospitals, meaning senior citizens patients need no longer pay for their hospital bill. That's also correct. Okay? So sa mga certified na accredited institutions, na hospitals, so si senior citizen hindi na siya magbabayad beyond dun sa PhilHealth coverage niya. Okay? Yun yung ibig sabihin ng statement 2. Statement 3, families of deceased senior citizens can claim a 20% discount on funeral and burial services. This death benefit applies to hospital morgues, caskets, or urns, embalming, cremation. On the other hand, if the deceased senior citizen was a member of the SSS, the family can claim a SSS benefit provided that the late member had paid at least 36 months of contribution before the semester of their death. That's also true. Okay, so lahat yan true. Letter C for number 7. Number 8, statement 1, senior citizens can get a 20% discount on groceries and avail an additional special 5% discount without exemption on select grocery items as granted by the TTI and DOA. Yes. False tayo for statement 1. Bakit, sir? 5% lang. Hindi 20%. Yun yung 20%. Okay? So kaya yung statement 1, false yan. Only the 5%. Okay? So again, meron tayong basic necessities and prime commodities. So false for statement 1. Statement 2, seniors who buy groceries worth up to 1 trip per week enjoys 5% of the retail prices of basic necessities and prime commodities. That's true. Statement 3, to get the 5% citizen discount, seniors must bring their OSCA purchase booklet when they shop in supermarket, convenience stores, and drugstores. That's also correct. No? Iba pa yung booklet nila sa ID. So merong ID, and then makikita mo kasi pag nag-grocery yung mga senior citizens, may booklet silang dala. Yun yung OSCA booklet. Okay? True yan for statement 3. Statement 4, sari-sari stores, cooperative stores, wet markets, talipapas are exempted from giving special discount. Actually, that's true. Okay? Hindi nila kailangan magbigay ng 20% discount for senior citizens. False, true, true, true. Letter C for number 8. Okay, and then last item for senior citizens, number 9. Statement 1, at least 50% discount shall be granted on the consumption of electricity, water, and telephone by the senior citizens, center and residential care group homes that are government-run, owned, or non-stock, non-profit, domestic corporation engaged and operated primarily for the purpose of promoting the well-being of abandoned, neglected, and attached homeless senior citizens. That's true. Okay? Correct yan. Statement 2, senior citizens can avail of a promotional discount in hotels, restaurants, and other establishments on top of the 20% discount. False yan. Okay? For example, pumunta ka ng restaurant, may ongoing promo sila. Tapos, senior citizen ka. Okay? Sir, paano yun? So, merong promo discount, may senior citizens discount pa. Hindi ganun. Whichever is higher, yun yung magiging policy. Okay? Yung promo ni restaurant or the senior citizens discount, the 20%, whichever is higher. Hindi siya magpapatong. Okay? So, false for statement 2. Statement 3, authorized representatives may claim the senior citizen discount on their behalf as long as the senior citizens are the ones who will use the discounted products and services. So, dapat, obviously, for example, yung bibili sa pharmacy, for example, dapat si senior citizen yung gagamit nun. Pwedeng kahit representative niya yung bibili. As long as si senior citizen yung gagamit. Okay? For their own use. So, true, false, and true. Answer natin class for number 9 is, boy, 2 of the above statements are true. Okay? So, ganun lang. Tapos na tayo sa senior citizens. Okay? So, class, let's move on to the second one. I-raise ko muna to, para may space tayo. Actually, madali lang yung second one, yung PWDs. So, basically, kung ano yung concept for senior citizens, halos ganun lang din sa PWDs. Okay. So, dahil na tayo with SC, so lagyan natin ng check. Doon tayo sa PWDs, persons with disabilities. Okay, so, lagyan natin dito, number 2, PWDs. Okay, so tingnan natin class, sa PWDs, sa G-sheets natin, yung mag-govern dyan is Magna Carta for Persons with Disabilities. That is RA 7277, RA 10754. So feel free to visit yung links na nilagay ko dyan. Browse mo lang yung mga provisions, okay, para familiar ka with the content of this, of the Magna Carta for PWDs. Now, sir, paano ba yung qualifications yan for PWDs? So just like senior citizens, marami din benefits, privileges ang PWDs. Yung qualifications yung class, dapat Filipino citizen. Okay, Filipino citizen with permanent disability. Okay? Permanent ha? Permanent disability. Okay? Pwedeng physical. Okay? Or mental, intellectual, sensory disability, which is long-term yung effect. Okay? Long-term. Kaya permanent yung nakalagay. Okay? And interferes with their or the PWD's interaction with society. Ayan, yun yung requirements. Okay, ulitin natin. Qualifications before you can be considered as PWDs, which are entitled to many benefits. Filipino citizen with permanent disability, physical, mental, intellectual, sensory, na long term. Okay, and yung disability na yan interferes with their interaction with society. Alright, now, meron tayong mga eligible na disabilities. Okay, ang nagde-determine yung class is the Department of Health. So, layo dito. Eligible disabilities determined by DOH. Okay, so may list of disabilities. And actually, lagay ko yan sa G-sheets natin. So, basahin natin class. The Department of Health considers the following types of disabilities as eligible for a PWD ID. So, hindi lahat ng may disabilities dapat mag-fall ka dito. Okay? A. Psychosocial disability includes bipolar disorder, depression, ADHD, schizophrenia, epilepsy, either long-term and recurring mental behavioral issues. B. Disabilities resulting from chronic illness. Orthopedic disability, cancer, blindness, diabetes, and learning disability includes processing problems that hinder learning math, reading, writing, other basic skills. Visual disability, okay, orthopedic, includes people with dwarfism, amputated hands or feet, and scoliosis. Mental, intellectual disability, hearing, speech impairment, and multiple disabilities. Okay, so again class, yun yung mga eligible for, well, basically, sa PWD ID. Okay? Sila yung may benefits na yan yung merit natin. Alright? Sige. Again, nag-determine yan is the Department of Health. Now, tingnan natin yung benefits. Letter A, 20% discount and VAT exemption. Uy, parang familiar sir ah. O, di ba? Hindi sa senior citizen. 20% discount and VAT exemption. So, basahin natin class. Room accommodations, restaurants, cinemas, theaters, recreational centers, medicines, medical dental services, fares for domestic and air sea travel, fare for land transportation, funeral and burial services for the death of a PWD. Parang familiar, di ba? Similar sila ng senior citizens. So, ibig sabihin class, kung paano tayo mag-compute for senior citizens, ganun din tayo mag-compute for PWDs. Clear? Okay. Letter B, 5% discount on basic necessities and prime commodities. Same, 5% din. C, mandatory coverage under SSS, GSIS, PhilHealth and Pag-ibig. Sa senior citizen din. Educational assistance, express lanes, so meron din silang priority lanes, and city-specific PWD. So ganun din, again, depende yan sa guidelines or policies ng mga LGUs. Okay, mga city or specific PWD benefits. Okay, now, tignan natin class kung paano naman mangyayari. Actually, sa establishment, sa point of view, ito na lang, kasi halos similar lang naman yung benefits sa senior citizens and PWDs. Ano class? Ang pagkakaiba lang, tanda mo, sa establishments, for example, si Jollibee, nag-employ siya si Jollibee, nagbebenta siya sa PWDs. Okay? Yung PWD discount, nakikita dito, PWD, sa na pinag-uusapan natin, deductible expense yan. Okay? So, ganoon lang din. And then yung input VAT, ganoon lang din. I-charge niya to cost of sales or expense. Kasi PWDs are exempt from VAT. Tama? Ngayon class, ito yung difference. Yung additional compensation expense, let's say si Jollibee nag-employ siya ng PWD, okay, as, let's say, cashier, okay? Ngayon, mas mataas actually yan. Sa PWD, hindi 15%, 25%. Additional compensation expense. So take note of that, yun yung major difference ng senior citizen and PWD. Okay, sir, how to apply? Lagay ko dito. How to apply? So ganito gagawin dyan, class. Pwedeng punta ka na sa City Hall or sa munisipyo, punta ka dyan. Kung sa senior citizen, ang tawag natin is Office of the Senior Citizens Affairs. Sa PWD naman, meron tayong National Council for Disability Affairs. Disability Affairs or NCDA. Ayan, yun yung pupuntahan, NCDA. So, syempre, provide na requirements, proof ng disability. Okay, kailangan ipakita yon. And then, once ma-provide na lahat ng requirements, basically, yung NCDA, mag-i-issue yan ng PWD ID. Yung PWD ID, yun yung ipe-present ng PWD, syempre, para maging entitled siya sa discounts or yung mga privileges na yan. Okay? Actually, pwede rin pumunta. So, aside from this, pwede rin mag-apply sa DOH, okay? Or sa DSWD, pwede rin doon. Alright? Para makakuha ng PWD ID. Alright, so madali lang yung PWD. Again, overlapping lang yung concept niyan with senior citizens. Let's go to our handouts. Number 10. Number 10. Mr. X is a person with disability. Dito na tayo mag-compute. Okay, so make sure nakapin nyo to. Tingnan. He purchased medicines from drugstore with the list price of 10,080. Question 1. If the amount is gross of discount and VAT, well, yun naman yung i-assume natin pag binigay sa atin. How much should Mr. X pay to the drugstore? So, ganito lang gagawin natin dyan. Selling price, inclusive of VAT. So, meron tayong 10,080. Tama? Tanggalin natin yung VAT. Divide natin sa 1.12, 10,080. divided by 1.12, you can have 9,000. This is the selling price excluding VAT. Okay, multiply natin by 20%. 9,000 times 0.2, 1,800. This is the PWD discount. Therefore, ang babayaran ni PWD, well, yung original price is 10,080. Tanggalin natin yung VAT. How much yung VAT? Well, difference sila. Tama? 1,080. 10,080 minus 9,000. So, 1,080. Okay, and then yung discount na 1,8. So, ang babayaran is 10,080 minus 1,080 minus 1,8. You have 7,200, letter C. 7,200, letter C. That's for question number 1. Question number 2. How much special deduction from gross income can be claimed by the drugstore in computing its taxable income? Well, according here, yung PWD discount, deductible expense yan. So yung discount na 1,8, deductible expense yan. Wala naman sinabing input VAT, so wala tayong lalagay na input VAT. Wala rin sinabing compensation expense. Pero kung meron, yung actual na binayad na compensation expense, plus 25% pa. Okay, so answer natin dito, class, is letter D, 1,800, which is the PWD discount. Question number 3, which of the following cards is not acceptable for Mr. X's proper identification? Okay, tingnan natin. A, ID card issued by the LGU where he is residing. B, passport of the person with disability. ID card issued by NCDA. Ito, yung sinulat ko kanina. Actually, yung ABC, pwede yan. Okay, mga valid IDs yan. No? Pero, syempre, ang prefer dito yung letter C, yung PWD ID. No? Ang sagot dito, class, kasi is not acceptable daw. Obviously, yung dog dito, ATM card or credit card, hindi yan acceptable. Right? A, B, and C are acceptable, pero ang mas preferred, PWD ID. So, dog yung sagot natin. Okay, let's go to number 11. Dito na din ako magsusunod. Okay. Again, for number 10, or for question number 3, dog yung sagot natin. Let's go to number 11. Mr. X sa PWD was treated by his mother and 2 of his younger siblings. So, ilan yan? Merong mother, si Mr. X, tas dalawang siblings. So, apat sila. Okay? Fast food chain, total bill is 1,680. So, yung bill na 1,680, tingnan natin. Ganito nangyari dyan. So, meron si X, yung PWD, yung mother, and then may dalawang sibling. So, lagay ko dito, sibling number 1, sibling number 2. Okay, so yung 1,680, divide natin sa 4. 1,680 divided by 4, 1,680 yung total. Divide by 4, so 420 each. Okay, 420, yung bill nila. Well, alam natin, class, na ang PWD dito, si X. Ano ba tanong sa atin? How much is the actual VAT paid? Okay, VAT paid daw. So, ang gagawin ko muna, compute mo natin yung discount. Tanggalin natin yung VAT ni X, 420 divided by 1.12, 375. 375, compute natin ng VAT dyan, yung VAT exemption, and yung discount. 375 times 12%, 45. And yung discount, 375 times 20%, 75. Okay, how much daw yung actual VAT na babayaran? Ganito gagawin ko dyan, class. Tama ba yung tatlo na yan? Si mother, si sibling 1, si sibling 2, hindi sila VAT exempt. So, kailangan nila magbayad ng VAT. Tama? So, add natin, 420 times 3, 1,260 yan. Tama? And we know, sa bill, inclusive of VAT na yan. Times 12 over 112. Huwag mo yung multiply by 12%, ha? So, times 12 divided by 112, you get 135. Ito yung VAT na babayaran. Letter D or dog. If the seller is non-VAT, how much is the discount of the PWD? Pag non-VAT daw. Again, pag non-VAT, let's say subject to OPT, si PWD, hindi siya exempt sa OPT. So, ganito gagawin natin. Tama ba si PWD, meron siyang 420 na bill? Tama? Huwag mo i-divide by 1.12 kasi wala nga VAT to, non-VAT. Diretso multiply ka dyan ng 20%. 420 times 20%, yung discount to PWD is 84 pesos, letter boy. Okay, that's letter boy. That's for number 11. Tama? Let's go to number 12. Private entities that employ disabled persons who meet the required skills or qualifications, either as regular employee, apprentice, learner, shall be entitled to an additional deduction. Ilan percent? 25%. Letter B or boy. 25%, the total amount paid as salaries and wages to PWDs. Number 13, Miss X, a person with disability, is the accountant of ABC, earning a salary of 25,000 a month. Which of the following is not a tax consequence of Miss X? So, PWD siya. A, she is not subject to VAT. Yes, VAT exempt on PWD. B, she is entitled to 20% discount. Yes. C, the establishment may be entitled to a special discount from gross income, which is equivalent to the amount granted as discount. Yes. If she is also a senior citizen, she will be entitled to another 20% discount, exclusive of the discount allowed as PWD. So, paano yun? Pag senior citizen na, tapos PWD pa. Ibig sabihin ba nun, sir, magiging 40% yung discount? Hindi. Isang discount lang. Okay? Sobra-sobra ka naman. Walang double discount. Isang discount lang, 20%. Hindi 40%. Okay? That's why for number 13, except dog. Alright? So, except dog. Answer natin 13 is letter D. Okay, so done na tayo with PWD. So, ganun lang. So, yeah, before we continue, let's have a short break.